Another thriller in the Pac-10. Oregon State by 1 over Washington. Steve Biziak along with Tom Ramsey. Big players play big at big times, and here's Marcus Tuiasosopo having another terrific night.
Just a great game. Tuiasosopo really leading the way thus far for the Huskies. And I tell you what, their offense right now, a 2nd and goal at the 2.
And here comes Marcus. He will hand off, and they will not get the touchdown. They get to about the 1.5-yard line as Dennis Erickson's defense straightens up. Atkinson, Manning from the middle of the defensive tackles, and also inside linebacker Richard Siegler.
And Steve, what's interesting, no turnovers tonight by either team. One time, Oregon State laid the ball on the ground. They were able to recover their own fumble, but on 3rd down conversions tonight, Washington so far 4 for 8 on 3rd down conversions, but this by far the largest of the evening for them.
Tuiasosopo leaning forward, and again they push him back.
They didn't get it. A great defensive stand again, and I think the biggest defensive stand so far in the game. Oregon State, before the first half ended tonight, they were able to stop Washington near the goal line as well. Washington only able to get a field goal before the half, but that's just great team defense right there.
There is a flag down. Offsides against Oregon State, so it's a free play and a couple of inches more. Let's see if they run Tuiasosopo again on that quarterback sneak. You saw Atkinson, who goes 6'6", 264.
Offside on the defense. Half the distance to the goal. Repeat 3rd down.
And also Eric Manning, who's only 6'1", 294, but he plays like Larry Triplett. I mean, he got a great surge that time, disallowing Tuiasosopo to get to the end zone. There's your strong safety, Kukas. 3rd and goal. Rich Alexis, the tailback. Alexis easily walks in. Huskies back in front.
The offensive line does a great job. 51 Siegler comes and tries to stuff the hole. He just took on the wrong hole. And then James Allen taking on the fullback Walker, and Alexis just prances in.
And another flag.
And I think what you're going to have is, again, another dead ball, personal foul.
Dead ball, personal foul against the defense after the touchdown. The player is ejected.
Ooh.
Ejection.
What player was ejected? Because that could really hurt Dennis Erickson's defense. Oh, he is hot. It is Eric Manning, their big defensive tackle, who has been so strong in the middle. Jim Fogeltantz has tossed him out. Dennis Erickson will argue. Manning is hot. So not only the penalty, but a loss of a player, and Manning threw his helmet.
And Steve, the problem is when a player gets ejected, it's not only for this game, it's for half of the next game too.
Wow, could this be a big swing? The Huskies with a 5-point lead. The college guys showing their emotion, and so much emotion going into this game. I mean, here is Oregon State. The last time they were ranked was the Final Poll of the 1968 season. Number 15. Dee Andrews was the coach, and the record was 7-3. They will go for 2. Huskies drop the football, kick it around, picking it up. Oregon State, and they can go the distance and get the 2 points. Keith Hayward Johnson, 98 yards.
Wow. A huge play because the defense scores 2. If you miss a conversion and the defense takes it all the way, like we just saw, Keith Hayward Johnson, the senior corner, saw the live ball on the ground. Just a missed snap. Marcus Tuiasosopo gets nailed by his fullback, and then Rich Alexis not even close to Hayward Johnson.
They are officially calling it a 96-yard return by Keith Hayward-Johnson. And Rick Neuheisel, he can't believe it. Oh, no. Oh, no. And now, just 3 points separates Oregon State and Washington. Dennis Erickson saying, run, Keith, run.
That's right. He's got those two fingers, 2 points up in the air. Hey, they're going to miss Eric Manning, though, defensively when they come back out on defense. Manning has played exceptionally well on the interior. Watch, the ball just never gets up. Quarterback center exchange problem. Kyle Benn, the center, and Marcus Tuiasosopo unable to execute. And that's off to the races.
Now a field goal can tie. I believe we are a long way from the end of this game. We got 14 minutes and 1 second. Who knows? We might have another 30 points.
Everybody in Cali, what's up? New York? I ain't forgot about y'all.
We wanted to make sure we got the words in from Keith Hayward-Johnson as you see Washington back in front. 27 first downs. Oregon State 235 yards allowed in the first 4 games. And Washington has gone for 429. Time of possession clearly in the Huskies' favor. Remember, Rick Neuheisel has never, ever lost a game when his team has won the time of possession battle. Eric Manning will not return. It'll be interesting who they bring in. Will they go with Dwan Edwards, Kyle Rozelle?
And Steve, neither team had committed a turnover up to that point, and all of a sudden, a couple points swing the other way, and now it's a 3-point game.
Ricky Walker. Walker diving forward past the 30-yard line. Tomorrow we're bringing you the tailgate party right to you. NFL This Morning on Fox Sports Net, the most raucous and rocking Sunday morning pregame show anywhere. Now a full 2 hours of morning madness to get you ready for kickoff. Chris Myers leads the NFL This Morning. Breakfast bunch, chalk talk, trash talk, bagels and donuts, yum yum, and even comedian Jay Moore returns to pick things up again. NFL This Morning at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, only on Fox Sports Net. Both these teams do well in the fourth quarter, and here we've got 13:51 to go. Jonathan Smith at the controls. Simonton back in. He's been quiet. And he gets it. And gets a couple. Simonton now rushing the football only 73 yards on 14 carries. He's been averaging almost 32 carries a game. But in the fourth quarter, look at this, Tom. Both teams are strong.
Yeah, they really are. Oregon State 176 to 57. And remember, they waited until the fourth quarter to put one of their opponents away. New Mexico, down at New Mexico, they won the game on a 4th and inches call with Simonton going the distance.
Neuheisel with 10 wins at Washington. He trailed in the fourth quarter in 4 of those. Erickson runs Simonton again, and he muscles his way up near the 38-yard line. They need him now. He came up big in their victory over USC late last week.
And I love Kenny Simonton. He gives you a chance on offense. He just pounds away. All of a sudden, it's a short 3rd and 3 because he's running so hard following that big offensive line. And they're doing a nice job locking up with a good aggressive defensive front of Washington.
Even though it's 3rd and 3, they may go right back to Simonton. No, they will fake. They dump it off to the tight end Maurer, and Maurer's got the first down near midfield. Martin Maurer, who's Pop Andy, played in the NFL for years.
Steve, when your running game is effective, as Oregon State's is right now, that play action right there, it holds several defenders, and then they slip Martin Maurer out. That's a little West Coast offense for you right there. Getting the ball to Martin Maurer, who just made a nice little...
Well, Andy, his dad went to Oregon, but the reason he went to OSU is because his uncles talked him into it. Andy was a Duck. From midfield, Smith going deep downfield. Broken up beautifully by Amari Lowe. Whew. Great inside coverage. Chad Johnson was the inside receiver, was the wide receiver.
Omari Lowe makes an exceptional play right here. He almost comes down with a pick. He had an opportunity a week ago versus the Oregon Ducks. He almost stole one of Joey Harrington's balls and took it the distance, but they want to work on those ball drills in practice. I know they worked on a lot of them this week.
Let's see if they go back to Simonton. Yes. Look at that. I thought Anthony Von Tour had him at the line of scrimmage, and yet he sealed him off, slipped past him, and gains about 3 yards. There is a flag down, though.
And Tim Hundley, the defensive coordinator for the Huskies, he's bringing out all the stops as well. Von Tour, of course, is a cornerback.
That will hurt.
Illegal block by Oregon State, but Von Tour, a cornerback, comes off the edge on a blitz, trying to disrupt the Beavers in the backfield.
Illegal crackback on the offensive team, 15 yards from the other run, repeat second down.
And what this does, it really takes Simonton away. I mean, you could run Simonton second and long, but you're in a situation where you need to throw the football, and now it takes play action away.
But you know what they've been able to do all night? I expect them to bring in another wideout. Pat McCall actually coming in for Kenny Simonton, but they've run the spread offense so effectively tonight. They've really been able to neutralize the heart of that Washington defense by spreading them out, receivers all over the field.
The speedster Johnson is covered by Chris Massey, top of the screen. Play action, blitz on! Smith is sacked. They brought Curtis Williams from the strong safety, and he just flew into the backfield.
Curtis Williams, a strong safety. Take a look. He's right here. He's going to come and sneak in. Does a nice job. They don't account for him. All of a sudden, he breaks through the gap, able to just knife in, make a nice play on Jonathan Smith for a sack.
Now it's 3rd down and 33. 3 wide left. Washington shows a 4-man rush. Smith backing up. Jonathan going deep. Incomplete. You know what? There were about 2 Huskies who had a chance in that. Bushman-Zada, Prescott, juggled it around. Those are the times you look at it in slow motion, you go, oh, I got it.
Well, Prescott's right in the middle of the field right there. He tries for the jump ball. He almost comes down with it. I tell you, had the ball been thrown a little earlier, Robert Prescott was open down the middle of the field.
Fessler on to punt. He hit one 65 yards earlier, pinning Washington back inside their 10-yard line. 4th straight year he has been the regular Oregon State punter, and he almost had that one blocked. The 38, Johnson goes down near the 39-yard line. Timeout in the field. 10:32 remaining. The Huskies 26, the Beavers 23. We'll be right back.
You're about to see something special. Introducing the 2001 Buick Century Special Edition. Luxury, quality, the little buzz you get from driving it. The 2001 Century Special Edition is all that and less. $1,250 less right now. Make your neighbors jealous. Make your children proud. Come see something special. Come see your Buick dealer today.
See the West under $1 a day. Get amusement park thrills without the price of admission. Then put your money where you get the most. Go to Burger King now for the 99-cent XL Deluxe. The extra long burger with more bites for your buck. Just 99 cents. Next time, do-it-yourself acupuncture. BK, got the urge?
Stay alive. To the city breaking it, everybody's thinking it was staying alive.
Number 13 Washington by 3 over number 23 Oregon State. Fourth quarter, 10:32 remaining. Verizon presents First and 10 all season long on Fox Sports Net. College football Saturday. Verizon, making the world of communications a whole lot simpler. Huskies football at their own 40. Tuiasosopo handing it off. Nothing. Again, Eric Manning has been kicked out of the game because of throwing his helmet on the Huskies' last touchdown. Juan Edwards is his backup. He's a 6'3", 267-pound redshirt freshman, Columbus, Montana. And there's Juan Edwards. ESB, they said he was a linebacker and a fullback in high school. Also a great athlete, averaged 22 points per game in basketball. So he takes over for Eric Manning. They show blitz, and here they come. Tuiasosopo in trouble. The dump off to Arnold. This screen pass has worked beautifully all night long.
They've run the screen about a half dozen times tonight. They've run it in their own territory deep. They've run it in the red zone. They've run it out in the middle of the field right now versus an Oregon State blitz. The Lawrence Grant actually did a great job. He tied up about 3 blockers and allowed his cohorts to come over and make the tackle, but after a first down for Washington.
I'll tell you, this has always been a league of great quarterbacks, but I think he is number 1 in this conference. Carson Palmer, Joey Harrington, and others. Willie Hurst in the game. They run Braxton Clement, the fullback, though, and Clement with a short carry. Braxton Clement has been almost a secret weapon in this game. They've run him very effectively from that fullback position after they lost their starting fullback, Pat Conniff, to a knee injury. Conniff goes 6'1", 245. Clement much smaller but faster at 6', 215. Gain of 3, 2nd and 7. They rush from the right side. They give it to Arnold. Big hole right side. There goes Paul to the 30. Arnold to the 20 and out of bounds. First down. "27 yards for Arnold."
Well, the nice job up front. Kind of a little delayed draw action. And then you see Paul Arnold's speed. He came in heralded with such great speed a year ago as a true freshman. They were able to work him somewhat into the offense, although Maurice Shaw carried the majority of the time at running back last year. Arnold, though, at 86 yards himself.
As a team, they have 250 yards rushing. This is the defense that held USC last week to only 63 yards rushing. Tuiasosopo goes right back. This time Rich Alexis, 10-5 to the 4, and it is another first down for the Huskies.
And what's interesting, Rich Alexis over 100 yards tonight for the Huskies, and that's the first time a UW rusher has gone over 100 this year. Rich Alexis, a true freshman. Nice 1-2 punch tonight, he and Arnold, but right there you see the vision displayed by Alexis. Nice north and south runner, keeping his shoulder square to the hole and able just to lunge ahead. Not a bad average tonight, 8.9.
Tuiasosopo on the keeper, dives for the touchdown.
Tuiasosopo, watch, he's going to end up, if we can hold it right here. Oh, he makes a great fake out to the pitch man and beats the defender on the line of scrimmage. Marcus Tuiasosopo showing his experience again.
He's run for 40 in a touchdown. He's thrown for 223 in a touchdown, and he has given his Huskies a 10-point lead over Oregon State.
There is an easier way to find a job. The Pac-10, together with JobTrack.com, bring you the largest job listing website, exclusively for students and alumni. It's where over 400,000 businesses have come looking for talents just like yours. The Pac-10 and JobTrack.com, the fastest track between school and work. Check it out at your school's Career Center.
What?
On the road to life, there are passengers and there are drivers. Drivers wanted for a Volkswagen from Carrera Motors. Affordability up to 50 miles per gallon fuel economy and all-wheel drive. Drive a Volkswagen and you'll feel the road, the car, and everything around you. All you've got to do is get inside one and take it for a test drive. Any other philosophical questions will be answered somewhere out on the road. Want to drive?
Drivers wanted for VWs. We're driving Central Oregon, Carrera Motors.
Right now we're going to go ahead and get into your up-to-the-minute weather report. That was a live look at the Oregon Department of Transportation camera high on top of Santiam Pass. Right now let's join Frank and Carrie at KBND.
Thanks for making KBND 1110 a.m. your first choice for local news. Good morning, Central Oregon.
Join Christy Miller on Good Morning Central Oregon weekdays 6:30 to 7:30 and 8:30 to 9:30.
Sobo has been all over the field, helping his team to a 10-point lead. And he told us he has never considered it acceptable to sit down after any sporting event and say, I could have played harder. He gives it everything he has, from the opening kickoff to the very end. Going to one knee is Robert Prescott, and Oregon State will start their offense at their own 20-yard line. Next week, start your college football Saturday with the pregame show presented by Rivals.com at 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 Pacific. Then it's quadruple header action, starting with number 17 Southern Miss visiting Tulane, Cincinnati going against Louisville, number 2 Nebraska taking on Texas Tech, and these Washington Huskies and Tuiasosopo against Arizona State. It's all right here on Fox Sports Net next week. Wonder how many healthy guys Bruce Snyder has left. They had a big win over Cal today with a third-string quarterback, Griffin Goodman. Congratulations to Mr. Goodman. Here goes Simonton to the 24-yard line. Gain of 4. Ken Simonton, one of the top running backs in the nation, only with 83 yards rushing on 17 carries. 84, short of 1 yard.
84, he comes in with 16 100-yard games in his career.
Hakeem Akbar, the free safety, just made his 15th tackle on that last play. Simonton, a couple, that's it. Boy, they are ready to stop him. Jeremiah Farms came from the outside. Larry Triplett, Ben Madavi from the inside.
And Larry Triplett was the man who made the initial hit. Watch him slip through into the backfield, just knifing between two big offensive players, and he's able to get enough of Simonton to slow him down, and the rest of his mates come over and make the tackle.
Washington called timeout before the play. First timeout.
Washington, they say, called out timeout before the play. So the ball will be placed back at the 24-yard line. And Rick Neuhauser doesn't like that. Instead of 3rd and 4, it is 2nd down and 6. Let's go down to Lisa Molosky for some scores.
2 games before us tonight, Steve. Memphis beating East Carolina 17-7. Memphis led by Jeff Sanders, 132 yards rushing and a touchdown. And Arizona State by 20 over Cal. ASU quarterback Griffin Goodman, a big day. 3 touchdown passes, all 50 yards or longer. He was airing it out, Steve.
17-10, Memphis over East Carolina. I'm looking forward to meeting Griffin Goodman next week.
Yeah.
We've got ASU and Washington. How about that kid? 3 touchdown passes and long ones.
I'll tell you. Hey, there were some big games today, too. Colorado finally got their first win over A&M in College Station. Well, that was a big one for Gary Barnett. It was 0-4. Ouch.
Are they going to allow him to put the decals back on?
Let's hope so. that
they're hurting enough.
It's going to be a big shakeup in the top 20. This game is big for both of these teams. The Beavers at 23, Washington at number 13, with a couple of the big guns losing up top. Michigan at number 6 losing.
Number 1 Florida State losing. We talked about Michigan. And how about Texas? They may completely fall out of the rankings. They were spanked 63-14 by Oklahoma. Jonathan Smith, and a flag goes down.
I think spanked is being kind.
Thrashed.
Yeah. Humiliated.
Yeah.
Rolled up in a little ball. The Boomer Sooner wagon was alive.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty.
Texas has a chance to really be good. Now, they're still a very young football team, but they've got to get it together.
And remember Washington, second week of the season, knocking off Miami here in Seattle, 34-29. And Miami's quarterback Dorsey couldn't handle the noise, and much like Jonathan Smith is finding out right now.
2nd and 10, 4 wide receivers set, and at 5 feet 10 inches tall, sometimes it's hard to throw over those big defensive linemen. And Anthony Von Tour, who was blitzing on the play, knocked it down.
Von Tour made a great play. He was just able to read the quarterback's eyes and creates a very big 3rd down for Oregon State. Oregon State has a lot of time left, 7:33, but they really would like to convert on this possession because it's only going to get louder and more difficult if you're the Beavers. They're on 5 for 10 tonight on 3rd down.
The crowd gets into it.
And watch for Prescott right here in the slot.
Blitz. Smith in trouble, going deep. Look at this pass! Chad Johnson, gone! Oh, Jonathan Smith slipping and sliding, and still fires a strike to Chad Johnson. 80 yards.
Let me go ahead and pick up my jaw off the floor here. Jonathan Smith blows out his shoe, steps up, and just heaves one. This is like, hey, Jonathan, throw it as far as you can. And the 4.3 40, Chad Johnson just able to sprint into the end zone and beat everyone in the defensive backfield for the score.
Wow. What a game. Seska. Oregon State within 3. Chad Johnson, 80 yards on 3rd and 10. Beavers right back in it.
Avaya, communication without boundaries.
Andy, those sockets are only supposed to be used for Domino's heat wave bags. They need to stay plugged in so the pizza's delivered hot. Are you listening to me?
The Domino's heat wave bag is plugged in to stay hot.
You happy now, Andy?
It's a fall heat wave at Domino's, where you can get a hot deal every day. Call now and get a large one-topping pizza and a 2-liter of Coke for $9.99. Domino's, bad Andy, good pizza.
You started saving for your kids' college education before they were born. Your wife still thinks of you as her knight in shining armor. And the neighbors know your door is always open. So it comes as no surprise that your auto parts are AC Delco. When the right way is the only way. AC Delco Automotive Parts.
(33-30). Jonathan Smith having another big game against Oregon State. He has thrown for 291 yards now and 3 touchdown passes. It was just 2 years ago that he set the Oregon State record with 469 passes against the Huskies. He had 8 plays over 25 yards that night. How about that? A minute drive, 3 plays, 80 yards. Now they kick it out of bounds. Penalty will go against Oregon State. Let's take a look at that last touchdown. First, Jonathan Smith loses his shoe and still throws an absolute perfect pass.
He steps out.
Free kick out of bounds.
He steps out of his shoe, just fires a rocket.
First and 10, Washington.
Chad Johnson, 80 yards. Gone. 3-point game. Jonathan, here's a kid who was MVP in the San Gabriel Valley League and got recruiting letters beginning his sophomore year from UCLA. And then people looked at the films and said, this kid's only 5 feet 10. So no one recruited him except Humboldt State, Cal Davis, University of San Diego, and Idaho. Oregon State got interested while recruiting lineman Dustin Jans and persuaded Smith to attend as a walk-on. Now he has been their starting quarterback since his redshirt freshman season. Paul Arnold slipping through. Arnold up past the 45 to the 46. Terrence Carroll, the strong safety, with another tackle.
And Washington started out in pretty good field position. The ball went out of bounds, and then they were accompanied with a dead ball personal foul against Oregon State, so it put the ball in great field position. And then Paul Arnold just knifing it up inside. He's close to 100 himself tonight.
Hey, Rams, let me ask you a question. Here is a team that has rushed for 278 yards in the game. They're going against a defense that's very fast. Are they just getting tired because they're physically outsized?
Yeah, I really think the Washington offensive line had a challenge to themselves before the game. Keith Gilbertson, the offensive coordinator, and I spoke before the game, and I just said, hey, who has to step up, you know, big, real big tonight? And he goes, the entire offensive line.
And they have. They have just seen their second running back go over the 100-yard mark. Paul Arnold with 102.
And they were prepared. They had a good week of practice. Take a look at the senior dominant offensive line, and those guys.
They averaged 314 pounds.
They haven't missed too many meals.
2nd and 6. Tuiasosopo trying to find Jeremy Stevens. He had 3 white jerseys around him, and it will now be a 3rd down and 6 yards to go.
And Tuiasosopo, you know, we talked about Jonathan Smith putting up 469 yards a couple years ago here in Husky Stadium, and I know when Rick Neuhauser was in Colorado, he saw flashes of greatness by Tuiasosopo several years ago too. He went crazy in a big game versus Nebraska in relief of Brock Eward. Threw for 270 yards, but right now this is when you got to convert. The 3rd down and 6. Watch, I believe it's Elstrom in the slot.
Blitz. Tuiasosopo picks it up, now must scramble. Incomplete. And Oregon State will get it back down by 3 inside 5:50 to go. Yes, he was looking for Elstrom, but the rush came hard, and it came from Dwan Edwards, the defensive tackle who had to replace Eric Manning, who was thrown out for tossing his helmet earlier.
Boy, the rush did come hard. Oregon State, Craig Bray's defense has not let up. Craig Bray, of course, the defensive coordinator. He coached for so many years at Washington State, so he knows the Huskies and their schemes very well as well. Hushmanzada, big returner for Oregon State.
Fleming lets it go. Hushmanzada takes it at the 16, and then he spins. He's in trouble. He is back near the 10. Well, he winds up running for about 35 yards and loses 2. Okay, coming up after the ball game, the National Sports Report. We'll have highlights of that Miami-Florida State thriller, Major League Baseball playoff highlights, and what's happened to sportsmanship tonight after the game in most regions. And for most of you in the West Coast, catch all of your local sports news after the game with the Regional Sports Report.
And Steve. I think that's just a great job of Washington special teams containing Hushmanzada. He was averaging 22 yards a return on punt returns, and they held him to 0 just then.
Simonton skips through, and then he is cut from behind by Curtis Williams. Lisa, what do you have?
Well, OSU free safety Kevin Carlisle has been on the sideline since he hurt his right shoulder. He actually played in that last series. He's got a significant wrap there on the arm to prevent the shoulder from moving up and down too much. He has been back in the game since the injury happened, though. So Steve, he's a tough guy. We'll see if he goes in next to him.
From L.A. Dorsey High School, same high school as Sparky Anderson. You better believe he's tough. 2nd and 2, Simonton. First down.
And I'll tell you a guy just as tough, Kenny Simonton. Wow. He just gets hit and keeps on coming. Simonton, 97 rushing yards tonight. Take a look, averaging 138 over his last 17. 1,600-yard games.
He's probably telling his big guys up front, come on, give me just a little crease, and I'll break one for you. Now from the 26. Simonton again, fighting his way through. Hey, Ram, how difficult is it to find him? Here's a guy 5'7". He gets behind those big offensive linemen, and can you see him?
Well, no, you can't see him. Watch him follow the big guard right here. He kind of dips in, and then he gets lost. And if you're a safety man like Akbar is, the free safety coming up to tackle 35, you can't really see him. But I was talking to Simonton before the game. I mean, he is built like a 300-pound guy. He is barrel-chested. He's got a big set of legs.
He'll go to the sideline, and Patrick McCall, who had a 43-yard touchdown run earlier tonight, will come in. Plenty of time for Jonathan Smith. 4:16 remaining.
Timeout, Oregon State.
Timeout, Oregon State.
I still think Simonton is the most underrated player in college football.
Jonathan Smith having a terrific game. Here is the throw to Robert Prescott for a touchdown. And he hit T.J. Hushmanzada. And, of course, the 80. Lose the shoe, throw it 80. Chad Johnson, use your speed, 33-30. Well, Oregon State just used their second timeout. And look at the 98 game at Husky Stadium. How do you do that at Husky Stadium? You told me that the crowd can be like a tidal wave and completely run you over.
I never threw for 469 at Husky Stadium, so I couldn't tell you. Very difficult to do. They fought from behind, though, and they just made a couple huge plays. Prescott was one of those receivers with some long yardage touchdowns.
Well, Beaver fans have been excited ever since Dennis Erickson showed up. Took him to the first bowl game since 1964 last year. I mean, they went 7-5 last season, 4-4, lost in the Oahu Bowl to Hawaii, 23-17. Now 2nd and 3. McCall stays in the game. Washington showing blitz. Hakeem Akbar. They give it to McCall. McCall straightens up Darrell Daniels and pushes him back. And he may have gotten that first down. I believe he did.
Boy, the offensive line doing a nice job. Again, they get running this little counter action. Watch the guard tackle move. And then McCall, running back, just follows big Mitch White, the big pulling tackle. 6'5", 311-pound senior.
Sesko warming up, trying for the tie. We saw Florida State trying for the tie earlier today, the #1 team in the nation. They would miss from 50 yards out. They will not be #1 anymore. McCall diving forward, and he's past the 40, out near the 43.
And Steve, this is what Dennis Erickson is thinking right now. 3:45 left in the game. This is his final drive. 1 timeout left. So this is your final drive. You don't want to anticipate the fact that you might get the ball back. You've got to score your points now and hope for the best.
Simonton back in. gets the call, the carry, and slides past the 45, but he still will be about 2 shy of a first down. Jeremiah Farms came from his outside linebacking position to put the hit on Ken.
Good offensive philosophy here, too. They really hurt the Huskies defense with a couple long passes tonight. I'll tell you, you know, third and very short, you can be hurt with play action, too, because if you're the defensive front, you're looking run all the way here.
You're looking Simonton. Here he goes. Very close. He needed to get past the 47.
And he got it.
He got it.
He just is so powerful and low to the ground. Ken Simonton, I asked him, I said, hey, Pittsburgh, California's got to be pretty proud of you. And he said, you know, I get a lot of great support from home. And he is just really a true guy you can look up to. Nice role model. I mean, he's runs hard, plays hard, practices hard. You gotta like that.
107 yards rushing now for Ken Simonton. They fake it, they throw it to Martin Maurer, and they almost had it picked off by Anthony Von Tour, who was blitzing from his left corner position.
Anthony Von Tour, watch him from the corner. He comes up and then he jumps. And Steve, he almost picks the ball off. This is a great play by Von Tour. He realizes it's a throw out to the tight end. He almost swipes it. Watch Maurer gets a little piece of him. Boy, great pressure that time by Jeremiah Farms.
2nd and 10. Husky Stadium picks up the volume. Von Tour showing blitz again. Here he comes. And Smith falls down. I believe the offensive guard stepped on his foot as he came away from center.
Boy, you got to like Tim Hundley's defense, the pressure defense. And now, look, if you're Dennis Erickson, you do have 2 minutes left right now. Boy, Jonathan Smith, he's having some problems with his feet. One, he loses his shoe a couple plays ago, and then the center stepped on his foot that time.
Just take the shoe off and throw it to Chad Johnson. 7 for 12 on 3rd down, and Husky Stadium is rocking. TJ leans forward a yard shy. 4th and 1. Curtis Williams on the tackle.
4th and 1, game on the line. This is what Oregon State faced a couple weeks back versus New Mexico. They had a 4th and 1 on the plus side. In fact, it was about the plus 42. Right now, they're sitting on the plus 43. 4th and 1 against New Mexico. They gave it to Simonton. He broke versus New Mexico and scored a touchdown on 4th and 1.
They've got McCall in the game, and Simonton is on the sideline. Patrick, first down and more. 35-yard line. Tell you what, they are impressive.
Give it to that number 1 back, Pat McCall. I think, really believe Simonton's the most underrated player in college football, but you're going to hear this player too. Pat McCall, a great athlete coming out of Carson High School, went to Michigan, and then transferred to Oregon State because of Mike Riley.
Seska has had problems the last half of 1999. Just 1 field goal this year. .52 seconds remain. Smith fires. Completes it inside the 25. Hushmanzada falls in the football. Very close to a first down. He had to go back to get the football, so it might be. This will allow the clock to still move. Now the officials will stop it to measure. No, Oregon State has to call timeout. Where's the mark? It is short of the first down.
Oh, their last timeout utilized just then. So what they know they're going to get, they know they're going to get another clock stoppage if they get a first down. Right there, the referee asking to put more time on the clock.
Look at Smith. What a game he has had, throwing for 314 yards. It was 14-7 at the end of 1. Washington then took the lead to halftime, but Oregon State scored a touchdown to go up 21-20. Huskies with 2 scores in the fourth quarter. But remember, they went for a 2-point conversion, dropped the football. It was recovered and run back 96 yards for the 2 points. That's why it's a 33-30 game instead of 35-28.
And right now, this is a huge play. Rick Neuheisel knows he's 0-1 in the conference already. A second loss in the conference will pretty much knock them out of the race. Oregon State undefeated, one of the lone undefeated teams still in the nation.
Second and 1.
Hey, you know what? You could take a shot deep right now. It's a great time.
You also have Simonton. And they'll go counter Simonton. He can't get free, and they can't stop the clock. Larry Triplett did a great job from his defensive tackle spot to just flush by the guard and center.
Larry Triplett swelled up to be a mountain that time on defense.
They stopped the clock.
Crazy. Boy, I tell you, they're going to wish they threw it on second down. So much time burned off the clock. You take a loss on the running play.
The counter has worked so many times, but it is a play that takes a lot of time to develop.
This is a very long field goal for Seska.
From 46 yards out. The longest in his career from 43 for the tie. On the way. No good. We saw it already once today with Florida State losing to Miami.
Boy, and Dennis Erickson knows that being pushed back on that Simonton run play, probably not throwing the ball on second down, really hurt that opportunity to tie the game.
Rick Neuheisel knows that he is just 14 seconds away from going 4-1 this year. Oregon State out of timeouts. All Tuiasosopo has to do is go to one knee and then shake the hands of the opponents who have really battled fiercely tonight. Tuiasosopo one knee. It is all over in Seattle. Oregon State will suffer their first loss of the year. They'll be 1-1 in conference play as well. Washington moves to 4-1. They win their first conference game of the year, and they will take on Arizona State next week. Our TiVo player of the game, Rich Alexis, 12 carries, 107 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Boy, Rich Alexis, he might want to give it to that offensive line.
Or Tuiasosopo, but the votes still coming in from the Electoral College, and Alexis wins the early. 33-30, Washington over Oregon State. Another terrific game on Fox Sports Net.
Well, just fantastic. Rick Neuheisel and his team, the Huskies, get back in the conference race. A big, big win for them at home.
That's it from Husky Stadium, 33-30 Washington. Be sure to watch next Saturday, 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 Pacific. College football Saturday, Game 1, Southern Miss, Tulane. Game 2, Cincinnati, Louisville. Then in Game 3, Nebraska takes on Texas Tech, followed by Washington and Arizona State. Coverage begins at 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 Pacific with the pregame show. Check your local listings for games and times in your area. For Tom Ramsey and Lisa Milosky, I'm Steve Biziak. College football Saturday has been a presentation of Fox Sports Net. Stay tuned. The National Sports Report is next in many areas. For those of you on the West Coast, stay tuned for your regional sports report. Good night, everyone.
The man behind the Mariners gets some much-deserved